this week is Jeff Woods.
Baba boy.
Sitting in the back, we got our producer, Jason DeRoche.
Yeah, buddy.
I've gotten pretty good at that. On sound and audio, we've got my little brother, Nicky.
Nick.
We're recording live from Moncton, New Brunswick at our home base, which my brother calls the locker room for some reason.
I can kind of see why.
Before we get started, I got to send a shout out to our sponsors. So we've got Moose Light. If you're going to go out, get yourself some beer. Make sure you get some Moose Light. It's scary good.
Tasty.
It's very scary good.
Fish.
Don't forget hats, shirts, jackets. If you're a team, if you're an organization, you need anything like that, go see our buddies at the Doyles. Doyles Corporate Image.
Go see the Doyles.
Go see the Doyles. They'll look after you. Now, I've had to make a little change in my history week. Okay,
Throw me off
I used to do this day in history. I now need to switch it to this week in history because I've missed some important events by not covering a week. Like we missed International Women's Day last week. Something. There's always something. So I'm now going to go this week in history as of this show. Okay.
Change is happening.
So, Jeff, the first thing I got for you, we're going back to 1955 on March 17th.
Wow.
Something big happened in the sport of hockey in 1955. And it was all due to a hockey game that took place 4 days earlier on the 13th. A guy by the name of Maurice Richard.
Rocket.
Okay, the Rocket.
The Rocket.
Okay. He attacked a guy from the Boston Bruins. His name was Hal Lako with a stick. And as a linesman, Cliff Thompson, got in to separate the two, the Rocket decided to punch the linesman in the face.
Wow.
The NHL president and the chief of officiating decided to suspend the Rocket for the remainder of the season, which led to the events on the 17th. Do you know what that is?
Riots in the streets of Montreal.
That's it. It was the Montreal riot.
Wow.
The president of the NHL decided to attend that game after suspending the Rocket. And that fired the crowds up inside the arena, and it took to the streets afterwards. Over 100 people were arrested from that night.
That's the Habs fans.
That's it.
They love or they hate you.
That's it.
Win or lose.
This next fact for you, this is for my referee buddies. In 1978, the NFL decided to add the 7th official to the officiating crew. And that official became the side judge. Now, just to give you an idea of what the side judge is, he works on the same side as the head linesman about 20 yards downfield. So him, there's the side judge, a guy across the field from him, and the field judge. They have the secondary, what's going on down the field in the passing game. So that 1978 was a big date because they went from a 6-man system to a 7-man system, and now they're looking at going to an 8-man system in 2017.
That's a lot of stripes on the field.
A lot of stripes on the field.
Wow.
All right, here's a big one for you. 1983, March 17th, Mike Bossy records the 70th hat trick in New York Islanders history.
Bossy.
Okay?
Sniper.
So I did a little research today on the leaders in the NHL when it comes to hat tricks. Now, there's going to be a lot of, we're going to do a lot of flashbacks to our show from last week because Chris and I had numerous conversations about, we had numerous debates over things last week and the past couple weeks. This is going to, we're going to have a few flashbacks, like I said. So when we look at NHL hat trick leaders, who do you think leads the NHL in overall hat tricks?
Wow, tough one. Bossy.
No. Bossy's actually third on the list.
Hat tricks. Hull?
No. He's number 4 on the list. Number
Gretz.
1, that's it.
Gretz
He's sitting right over my left shoulder.
No-brainer, I guess.
Wayne Gretzky had 50 hat tricks in his time in the NHL. Your buddy, Mario Lemieux, had 40. So we had this came up again last week between my brother and I. Who's a better player, Gretzky or Lemieux? This is just another peg in the railroad to show that Gretzky's a better player, right? Brett Hull was number 4. Number 5 was Phil Esposito. Now, what's interesting about this is on one of our podcasts, I talked earlier about the fact that goalies were not the athletes that they are today back then. Remember we talked about that? We talked about that at the Fox the one night there. Goalies weren't as athletic back in the days of these players. And really, when you look at these players, the only modern day player, if you will, would be Brett Hull.
Yeah.
Right? But the modern day players today, they're not putting up those types of points because the goalies are such good athletes.
Yeah, the game's changed a lot. The equipment's a lot bigger.
Yep.
I don't think guys wanted to go to the ice back in the day because they had Kleenex boxes on for pads, you know, and
That's it.
and the very thin mask. But yeah, the game's changed. There used to be clutching and grabbing. There's not as much anymore. Obviously,
No.
if you look at the point leaders compared to years ago,
Yeah.
what's the guy getting like 120 points now? So the game's totally changed. I think they're talking about dialing back the size of the goalie gear now.
Well, they've been talking about that for years. They've been talking about making the net bigger,
Yeah.
dialing back the equipment. Just something that never seems to change in the NHL.
It's weird. Yeah, and they're playing on the same style ice. But definitely the guys are a lot quicker. They're a lot bigger. So, but size of the ice is the same. I think they changed, I don't know how many years ago, the amount of room behind the net.
Yeah.
You know, where Gretzky made his living. But they got to bring back the goalie gear a little bit, I think. Yeah, to entertain the fans a little more with some goals.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Okay, guys, so that's our week in history. Again, if you missed the beginning, we're going to be doing week in history now versus the day in history. Okay.